Here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that horses poop on average 8 to 12 times a day? That's a lot of poop. In today's video, I'm gonna show you the most challenging thing that I deal with as a horse owner. If you're new here, my name is Brandi, and this channel is all about horses and my journey with horsemanship. So if you want to learn more about horses or follow my journey, you can start by hitting that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Now, this little guy right here, this is Manzer, and he is almost 5 months old. So if you are not familiar with Manzer's journey, you want to make sure to go to the link that I am sharing above here and check out his entire journey. Today is October 6th, and I'm going to be showing you some footage from over the summer. One of the big problems that we have with Nika and Manzer's paddock is there's a tremendous amount of runoff that comes from the arena roof. The arena's right there. So all the water comes down and then it all goes over into the shelter. So we pulled all the manure out and then we scraped the shelter down to nothing basically. So it's right down to the base. And I have a couple loads of sand and gravel coming, and we'll be filling the shelter so it's back up higher than the ground. And then hopefully this drainage ditch here will do its job and carry all the water away so it doesn't end up pooling inside the shelter, because the shelter is the lowest point, so it all just goes right in there. So back to the biggest challenge that I deal with as a farm owner is mud. Horses are notorious for churning mud like butter. So the more horses walk around in it, the worse it gets and the muckier it gets, and then they continue to poop in it, which makes it even worse. If you want to see what Manzer's paddock looked like a few months ago, right when he first got put out in it, make sure to click on the link above. That'll take you right to that so you can see how yucky it was in the springtime. If you own a farm, ranch, barn, stable, zoo, rescue, you definitely have challenges of some sort. So what I want to know, as a caretaker for animals, what's the biggest challenge that you have to deal with? Comment below and let me know. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. Environment and location definitely plays a huge factor. It's not uncommon for us to get over 300 inches of snow in a year, and we live in a lower area, which makes the water naturally flow to our pastures. Something I would love to know is, what do you do with your horse manure? So leave me a comment below and let me know how you remove your horse manure and what you do with it. As you can see here, we are scraping our pasture and piling the manure so it can compost. After it sits for a while, we give it away to be used for gardens and topsoil. As far as mud goes, I think that trenching really makes a ginormous difference. It has for us anyway. When you can divert the water and give it a place to go naturally, it's amazing how much of a difference it makes in the amount of mud that you've got. So I know we've had a lot of luck with doing that, and we're going to continue to do that in a lot of areas around our pasture. So it just keeps getting better year after year. We just got a substantial downpour, and I'm so excited to come out and look at my trench and see how it worked. So I thought I would take you with me. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. Little things like this make me so happy. Like Friday is my birthday, and I'm getting sand and gravel. That's all I need, sand and gravel. So that's what I'm getting for my birthday. Ha. Okay, let me show you. I was hoping to see less water in the shelter, but what's happening is it's pouring in underneath on both sides. So it's doing the exact same thing over there. So, But the good news is this looks really nice over here. All right, let's go in there and take a look. This is definitely good. This is definitely good. Look at all this water. Look at this water running. Oh, this is fabulous. Yep, this is really, really good. Because all this water before would have ended up in the shelter. And it's really washed out here, so you can tell that a lot of water came through. Okay, that's awesome. Oh, yuck, that was squishy. Okay, why did I wear flip-flops? This is stupid. Not smart of me. Okay, but at least they've got a dry spot to stand, but right Ugh. Look at this. Ew. So right here, it's pouring in. See right there? It pours in under that wall. So I need to elevate this and kind of plug that off so it doesn't run in here anymore. So with that sand and gravel I'm getting, hopefully that helps. And then over here, it's running in right underneath here. And there's just pools. But at least they've got a nice dry spot to stand. Mom and baby are very happy. They're happy and dry. Looks like Nika was out in it for a little bit. She's a little wet on her backside, but. So hopefully it cools off a little bit now and the bugs die down a bit. Okay, I'm gonna go look at it on the other side and rinse my shoes off. So I was not planning on going out into the pasture with my flip-flops on, but after it rained, I was just so darn excited to see what the pasture looked like that I just threw on the first pair of shoes I could find and ran out the door. So I definitely do not recommend wearing flip-flops out around horses. If you can think of a reason why you wouldn't want to wear flip-flops around the barn or out in the pasture, why don't you leave a comment below so others can read it. All right, here's the view out of the back of the barn. Wow, we got a lot of rain. Get all the water in the pasture. I'm glad we got all the manure piled up. You know, you got a lot of horses, you got a lot of poop. And then my border's pasture, we scraped everything out of there. So I'm anxious to see how quickly it dries up. Got little stepping stones. This gets up to 3 feet wide at times. And everything just kind of drains out of the pasture. It's pretty nice. Okay, so out here, this was a mess after winter. And now that, like, we've got dry lots, it's just what's going to happen, period. We're not going to have pastures for the horses that we have. We just don't have that much acreage. So there's a really wet spot right there. I've got to figure out, that's going to continue to be a wet spot. And I'm okay with that. We just need to drain it over to, I'm thinking of taking something from here, going directly across and linking it up there, and then the water will all flow out. It's always fun to try to find ways to make the weather easier. You know, we're lucky we don't have hurricanes or poisonous snakes or, you know, tornadoes, anything like that. But gosh, we have to deal with a tremendous amount of rain. Live in a very wet area, as you've seen, and then there's people that have very dry areas, and the horses do a great job adapting to that. So for an example, I have one horse that is boarded here who came into the arena one day and she was very sore. We have a lot of gravel in areas like in our walkways and stuff to help with the mud, and when the horse came into the arena, she was very sore. So the girl that owns her was gonna just put her back out right away and call it a day, and I suggested, you know, give her a little bit, let her feet dry out and see what happens then. And sure enough, when that horse's feet dried out, they hardened and they weren't sore anymore. So, but being in a wet environment, her feet were, when the horse's feet are given the opportunity to adapt to the environment, they adjust just fine. So after the mare was brought into the arena and her feet dried out in the nice soft sand, they hardened quite a bit, and then she wasn't sore at all. So a lot of times we just kind of overlook that they just need a little bit of time to adjust. Something that I'm always concerned about when the weather is really wet is the risk of our horses getting something called rain rot or thrush or scratches. And if you want to know a little bit more about those things, comment below and I'll see if there's enough interest and I'll make sure to do a video if there is. When horses live in a wetter environment, what I've found is you waste a tremendous amount of hay. And we figured it out one year and we were wasting about 25% of everything that got put out to our horses. That was over $5,000 a year worth of hay that we were literally just throwing into the mud and getting tromped in. Check out this link above if you want to learn more about what we do in a wet environment to save on our hay. So it was 2 nights ago that we had the torrential downpour, and we only have that wet spot right there and the water's coming underneath, and then we have a wet spot right there. So that's really awesome because that means my trench is working. because usually this whole paddock just floods. So I'm excited because it's all pretty darn dry and it looks good. So we've got a wet spot down here. There's still some scraping we could do. Like this stuff could really be scraped down a little bit more. But you know, I'm pretty happy with it right now, how it is. So we'll pick away at it as we go, but like, and this is solid, I can walk through this. I could never walk over here before. Look at all the sand. So yeah, this is awesome. After the amount of rain we got, never would I have been able to do this. So all you gotta do is find a way to divert water. With our super wet environment, it's pretty unrealistic for us to think that we're not gonna have mud to deal with in the future. But I really think that finding different ways to manage it helps us get by. So all these little things that we can do to make it a little easier on us and our horses, it really makes a huge difference in just the day-to-day stuff that we have to do and makes it very manageable for us. We are lucky in a sense that we do have a little bit of a natural slope to our property. So by digging trenches, we're able to give the water a place to go and divert it from our pastures and then the high traffic areas that the horses hang out in. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to give it a like, share it with your friends, and comment below and let me know what kind of things you do around your farm to help prevent the mud. I really appreciate all the feedback that you can give me because maybe I'll be able to incorporate some of your ideas into what we do at our barn. So this video was really important though because it's just another step in Manzer's journey, and the next couple of videos that I have coming, you won't want to miss it. So stay tuned, that's coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.